Yo, what's up guys, SK here, and today we're going to show you how to run Archon of Fire. Because a lot of people are having a lot of issues running this dungeon with randoms, and I'm one of those people having a lot of issues running with randoms as well. I feel like this layer should be really easy. It's not even a dungeon, bro. This layer should be really easy for anyone that wants to run it. And there's no issue that people should be dying constantly and saying they don't have revives or don't have potions. Like, come on, man. At this point in the game, you should have potions. You should always have revives on you. Like, anyway, this is the boss Argos. You kind of fought him in the beginning of the game for the tutorial. He does have more mechanics than he did in the tutorial. His basic attacks are really random and just widely telegraphed. You can pretty much figure out where they're going to go and dodge them in the same means. But his attacks do have tracking for some reason. So sometimes you will get hit even if you dodge perfectly, as I do sometimes, and it's just one of those things you have to deal with in the game. Now, his major mechanics are going to be his jump and his I-beam stun. And usually before his I-beam stun, he'll jump back. And if you remember the boss from the tutorial, he'll like gather up energy, I guess, and he will shoot out an I-beam. Now, this beam goes across the room, and he's about to do it right here, actually. He will stun whoever's in the radius of his vision, and then he will shoot a beam out across that. To get out of that, you just have to mash your left and right trigger. One thing you can do to get away from this beam is either get behind him, and the other thing you can do is to get away from him by going forward. So whatever side of the room he's on, get away from that side of the room. The beam does not cover the entire section of the field. It only covers a certain area, and then it hits the floor and scans the floor. If you can get beyond where it touches the floor, you should be fine. But if the beam hits you, you're usually dead. So, yeah, remember that. He does have a basic stun mechanic, and after that he does a straight I-beam, and that doesn't usually kill, but depending on your HP and your defense, it might kill you. His jump mechanic is pretty simple, but a lot of people seem to be screwing that up a lot these days. I don't know why. His jump mechanic, he jumps 4 times, and each jump, he will land in an area, twirl his halberd, jump up, slam down, and create a lava area in that spot that he's in. The goal of the party is to create the next lava spot next to that spot. So whenever he creates that lava spot, you want to be standing next to the very edge of that spot of where he is, so that he jumps to that spot next and creates a lava area in that spot. The thing I've been running into with random parties is that they will split up and go all over the field and spread this stuff all over the field, and then on the third jump they'll start attacking him, which breaks him out of his jump mechanic and leave him in the lava. So then he goes into his I-beams, and it just destroys the whole party, because everybody doesn't know to stay away from him, to get away from it, so they're trying to go towards him and they get stuck in the lava, they start burning, and they die. And it kind of gets hilarious. Like, it's hilarious at first, but after, 4 or 5 times failing because everybody dies and you're fighting the boss at 80% by yourself, it kind of gets annoying. So let him jump all 4 times. Stop attacking him when he's in the lava. It doesn't do your group any help. It really doesn't. Even if you're long range, nobody cares if you got the massive damage for being long range. If you're a ranger or a mage, stop it. It doesn't help anybody. And it definitely won't help you when he does the high beams and you get screwed. Now, that's pretty much it for his mechanics. I personally think this boss is super easy for any of the layer bosses. I think he is like the second easiest next to Wolf King, and people shouldn't be having issues with this. But I've soloed this boss at least 4 times this last week, from 30% down to 0 or 20% down to 0, or somewhere in between there, because the party wiped and they had no more revives, or they claimed they had no more revives, and I just had to fight this boss until he died. And one party was like, vote to kick, vote to kick. And I was like, okay, but if you kick me, like, you're gonna have to do this by yourself, and you obviously can't. And I just had I had a really bad time with that party, and I'm just like, I don't know, it shouldn't be this hard to run layers. The bosses are super easy to run. They don't have strenuous mechanics. They don't have you in here for 20 minutes. I mean, I don't understand the difficulty that people put behind these layers, these dungeons. I understand, you know, slip-ups like if you're a berserker and you roll to do your shoulder charge like I just did, and it pushes you in front of the boss. Or you do your leap attack and it lands you in front of the boss, because leap attack always lands you in front of a boss. I didn't know that until I did it that time, and I was like, bruh, never again, because I could have died just now. So those are like the little slip-ups that you could make, and like, yeah, I'll forgive that. But if you die to just some of the stupidest stuff, oh my god, these layers are not hard. Like, if they somehow decided to restructure the game and made it harder, people would not be able to progress beyond these layers. And I'm not sure how some people are. You shouldn't be able to get past. You shouldn't be able to get level 30 without being able to complete these layers, to be honest. Like, that should be your point in the game where they put a wall up that's like, hey, this is where the strong die out. I mean, this is where the weak die out. I just said the strong die out. I don't know why, but this is where the weak are just like weeded out, and it's either get good or get gone. I'm sorry, but they want players, so I guess they can't do that. But I have real frustration behind this dungeon, this layer, and it's really, I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand. And I speak on the mic most of the time when I play too, so I'm trying to give instructions as well. And like, I don't try to sound like a butthead when I give instructions for fighting this boss or fighting any boss. They're like, hey, do you guys want to know the mechanics? And people will say, yeah, and I'll tell them, and they'll do the exact opposite of what I say. And I'm like, no, do this. And they'll do the exact opposite of what I say. I'm just like, Lord help me, because I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I have the patience of a saint. So what is going on? Yeah, that's my internal monologue going on every time I run these dungeons. I had a very interesting dream scale run where I finally got my axe, and that was just, ooh, boy, yeah. One of the people that I was running with, everything I told him to do, he would do the opposite. And when it came to the last boss on the lightning phase, where she points her tail at someone, and I told him stay away, this guy did every move in his arsenal to get closer to us, and killed us. Like, one person was able to get away from him and save us from having to wipe and reset, which was great, because I think that person at the end of the run, I was like, bro, thank you so much, because you saved my life and my sanity. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. Like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.